One Percenter Podcast with Sam Bakhtiar, bringing you the 1% knowledge to help you reach your full potential. Learn what it takes to rise above the 99% and become a 1%er.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your host, Sam Bakhtiar with a 1%er Podcast. Today, I have my friend, the real estate mogul, Danny Morel in the house. Danny, what's happening?
What's up, my man? How are you? It's good to be here.
Thank you so much for taking the day out of your time and coming down here for the show.
I'm excited. I'm excited to give back to the community, especially the 1% community. Because if anybody gets it, man, it's the 1% community.
I know you've been laying low to doing podcasts and laying low. You've been hyper-focused. I'm so impressed with you lately. You've been hyper-focused on your one thing that you're doing.
Right.
You know, and I know that, you haven't been doing these. So I appreciate you taking the time and and kind of leverage that friendship for you to come down. I really appreciate
man.
that.
Anything for you. Anything for you.
So Danny, we know, you're a multi-millionaire. You've done over $1 billion in sales. We know you're a CEO of, Intero, real estate. We know all this stuff about you. You know what I mean? We know, but the 1%er Podcast is all about overcoming. It's all about, you going through adversity.
Okay.
And I know that, know a little bit about you. Tell me about you growing up. I know that you said that you grew up, were you poor?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, where my story began was at 13 years old, my parents decided to split up. And so when they split up, when you have two adults, you have a two income household, things are good. We had private school, things were okay. But then the minute my mother decided to bring us here to Southern California, we landed in a place called Rialto, California.
So where would you live before that?
New York City.
So you were in New York City.
Yes.
Everything was good till about you were 13 years old.
Right.
Your parents started to, decided to split up.
Yes.
So your mom brought you to Southern California.
My mom brought me to
And
Southern
now
California.
there's single income.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And actually it went from a dual income to a zero income because at the time my mom couldn't find a job. And so we actually had to go on public assistance. And so we did that for a couple of years. And a beautiful story that I'll share with everybody is that my mom actually decided to pay it back. And they actually would take a little bit of her check for like 5 years. And she actually slowly paid it back.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah,
I never knew you could pay back the government.
Yeah, it was so, that just speaks, volumes about her character. So much so, I'll tell you another story. As you know, my mom passed away. She passed away at the age of 56 from cancer, unfortunately. And, I think it was like a month or two after her funeral, we got a statement. And we got a statement from the church. And, my mom was a great believer and she had great faith and she wanted to help the church with the building fund for the new church that they were building. Wow. Get this, my mom had been not only giving during the time that she was battling cancer. We're talking she couldn't work, she couldn't do anything. She was giving. They were literally just taking $20 a month out of her account. And she was even giving after she passed away. That's just the type of human being she was,
Is that how she raised you about giving? Because I know you're such a giver. For the couple of years that I've known you, you have given. Is that something that you learned from your mom?
That's a great question. I don't know if I learned it from her. I think that there's something called a spiritual inheritance.
Spiritual inheritance.
A spiritual inheritance, yeah. And what a spiritual inheritance is, we get passed down certain things from our parents. And I know that my mom's faith and my mom's kindness and her good-heartedness, those are things that were passed down. I can't say that she taught it to me because we didn't have the greatest relationship. Not to say that we hated each other.
So tell me really quick, man. So what do you mean you didn't have the greatest relationship?
So what I mean is that, listen, my natural personality is I'm naturally a leader.
Yeah.
At 13 years old, myself, my two brothers, and my mom move out here to Southern California. There's no dad around. We have no money. I took over.
Got it.
So I literally, my little brother Anthony, right? I took him over as my kid.
Yeah.
So when I say we didn't have the greatest relationship, it's not that we didn't get along, is that I didn't have that mother-son experience.
Yeah.
I had that co-parent experience.
Yep.
So it's not that I was learning from her. It's we were coexisting to try to just survive.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. The reason I ask you is because honestly, man, this is the first time I guess I'm sharing this because I don't have the greatest relationship with my mother.
Yeah.
And the reason is the same thing. I was I didn't have a dad around, and we came to America, and she's old school Persian where things has to be her way.
It's in the box.
Yeah, it's in the box. You know what I mean? And I was like, hey, we're in a new country. We want to try to do outside the box.
Right.
So that's why I asked, because I'm curious to know all about that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then you came in here. You kind of started co-parenting. Took Anthony, and Anthony, God, man, what a great job you've done with him.
He's
man.
phenomenal.
I mean, he is phenomenal. I worked out with him this morning.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, he's just absolutely. I mean, look, man, you've done a great job with him.
Thank you. Yeah.
So tell me, at what age where you say, you know what, I want better things for my life. What do I don't want to be average, because I know average is like something you hate. I
do. I remember watching Beverly Hills 90210. That's a show that like I grew up watching.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it, and I remember seeing like these kids live a great life. They live in these beautiful homes. It's a nice neighborhood, and they're driving nice cars, so forth and so on. And I just thought to myself, you know what? Like, I want that too. And that's where I can remember at a young age, living in a crummy 2-bedroom apartment on welfare, right? And seeing this example of what's possible. And I thought to myself, you know what? Like, I want my kids someday to live that kind of a life.
You know what? We have so much in common. Because that's the same thing. When we came to America, we live in low housing income. We got crammy car and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I don't want that for me. I don't want that for myself.
Yeah.
I want to be able to provide a better life for my kids and all that.
Sam, and this is what most people don't realize. Most people don't realize that it's as easy as deciding.
Yeah.
It's as easy as deciding. I'm gonna share something. I really believe that now, because of social media, I believe we're at a time in our universe right now where there are more entrepreneurs being born, because social
100%.
media is showing people what's possible for their life. And people are looking at what's possible through examples like you, through examples like, all kinds of examples. And there's something brewing in people that is just saying, you know what? Like, if they could do it,
so can I.
So can I.
So how do you respond to people who say, well, social media is fake and social media depresses people because on social media everybody's living a fake life and they're posing and everybody's comparing each other to comparing themselves to what's not and all that kind of stuff. How do you respond to something like that?
You're gonna think this is funny, but I know you understand what I'm saying. I didn't even know people said that.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't even know people said that? Because I just spend no time on negativity.
Good for you.
I spend no time on negativity. Good
for you.
Look, my puppy's crying right now, by the way. You can let him out. If you want, just let him out. It's perfectly fine. But my puppy's crying right now. I just got a brand new dog. I spend time with my kids. Yeah. I'm going to get another dog. Mm-hmm. So, I started to realize, in my Tesla, for example, like the puppy doesn't fit. Yeah. So I need to get an SUV. And I make fast decisions. Yeah. So I go on social media because I'm not in the SUV world, and I ask all my followers and say, hey guys, what's a great SUV? And they start throwing me, there's the new, the Range Rover, the BMW X7, the this and that. And then, well-meaning people say, oh, the Honda whatever. Yeah. Or the Toyota this, or the, I don't even know.
Yeah, what the name of them, yeah.
I don't even know. So anyways, I post this video and I go, joking, it's my audience. I'm messing with it. And I go, look guys, I love you. I know you mean well, but Honda, Toyota, I don't, no comprendo. I don't understand, right?
Yeah.
And so, everybody's laughing and we're getting, and somebody messages me and goes, wow, you're so into brands. And I said, no, I just have standards. And, for myself and for my children, there are certain things that I will allow them to experience, and there's certain things that I simply will not. Yeah. Like, forgive me if you drive a Honda or a Toyota, but you could feel the quality of the buttons in those cars. You could feel the way the door closes. It doesn't sound, you could hear the sound of the engine. And you know what, Sam? That's just an example of, it's as simple as you deciding what your standards are going to be in life. And I have always thought that anything one man or one woman can do, so can another.
But I mean, let's be real though. I mean, like, there was some point in your life when you were coming up, that's what you drove. You drove a Honda, you drove a Toyota, you drove, you didn't always drive like the best car, right? Or did you?
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you flat out. We came here, I'll never forget this. We came here and I'm not one for details.
Right.
I'm an entrepreneur to the core. I'm a driver. And I figured that here in California, there are no trains. or buses. You know, there's some buses, but it's kind of weird in
they don't
California
have
if you
public
take a bus, right?
transportation,
It's not the
sucks
same. So I was like, Mom, we got to buy a car. So Mom had like $2,500. I saw a sign. I didn't know anything about the car. And sure enough, I saw a sign and we decided to buy the car. After we bought the car, we figured out that the car was a stick shift. So Mom couldn't drive a stick shift. So guess who had to drive the family? I did. So from the ages of 13 to 16 until I got the license, I had to go ahead and drive the car illegally, basically, right? Right after that, I went into high school, right? And in high school, I figured, you know what? What's a great car that's affordable, but that can still, you know, it's still nice. I had a '69 Mustang.
Nice.
So to me, that was a great car,
Yeah.
right? As soon as I graduated high school, I wanted something nice. I wanted something awesome. I couldn't afford it, so what did I do? I started a business.
Yeah.
And what did I get? I got a beautiful brand new Jeep Wrangler. And then right after that, guess what I wanted? I wanted something brand new that was a little bit more luxurious. So what did I get? I got the brand new Nissan Maxima. I had a navigation system in it when no one had. Why am I saying that? Because no, I've never driven what I didn't want to drive. The only time that happened to me was when the market crashed. I lost everything and my mindset was shot. If your mindset...
I've done that, man. I remember for 4 years, I drive a Silent XB.
Yep, exactly. I drove a Prius, which was still kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? But again, Sam, it's all about standards, man. It's all about standards.
Yeah. I've had this Civic when I was a college student. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Is what's your standards?
No.
But I always said one day, you know, when I work my ass off, when I get to a place I want, I'm going to get what I want. What I don't understand is people who, you know, they make it, they do really well, but they're like, well, no, they drive something they don't like, and they, you know, just because they want to be conservative. You don't have to do that.
It's not. Listen, and I want to help you guys out here. It's not even about driving. It's not even about clothes. It's not about any of that. It's about what are the standards for your life.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Flying. Flying is uncomfortable as it is.
Yeah.
But then if you have to fly and reclining the seat means that you get to go that far back and there's a 200-pound guy there and a 200-pound guy there and you're like this for 5 hours of your life, I will not put myself through that experience. Mm-hmm. And so I'll never forget, that's another thing that happened. I was a young man, I was like 9 years old, and I wanted to go to the bathroom in first class, and I didn't know that first class was like first class. I didn't know,
can't go
you know?
there.
Sure enough, those mean stewardess said, no, you're not allowed over here, you know? Probably saw a little Hispanic boy, whatever.
Yeah, a little Hispanic boy, what you trying to do, man? Go in the
That's
back.
perfectly fine. And so that resonated with me. So then the way I see life is this.
You have a choice.
You have a choice, Danny. It's you're going to fly back there where you're uncomfortable, or you're going to go create something that would allow you to experience life at the level that you truly deserve to experience it at.
You know, let me tell you something, man, really quick. You know, my mom, you know, God bless her soul, man. I mean, she's an amazing person, but she spends money on some things carelessly, and then she skims on stuff that I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? So, years ago, she bought these cruise tickets for us, right? And I said, Mom, so, we're going to take on a cruise. I don't really take a lot of time off, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a few days off and go to a cruise. I said, Mom, so what kind of room do we have? Do we have a balcony? Do we have something like that? She goes, no, we're not going to spend time in the room anyway. I go, so what do we have? We don't have a balcony? She goes, no, I just got a little room.
Like at the bottom of the boat.
Yeah, exactly. She got the ones at the bottom where there's nothing. There's like that little square window over there, right?
Yeah.
You know, I go, Mom, I'm like, I don't really take a lot of vacation, but when I do take a vacation, I kind of want to enjoy myself, right? Yeah. And she's like, well, no, we don't really need all that kind of stuff. And I just literally was like, Mom, I'm like, did you remember watching the Titanic? That's the first place that sank. That's the first place that sank. I'm like, I don't want to be on that one. So I ended up not going. And my mom was so mad at me because I will not like lower my standards of like going that way.
Right.
I know people are going to watch this and like, you guys got to be kidding me and all that kind of stuff. But it's all about standards, all about what you want out of your life and what you want to do.
Okay, and people will do this.
Yes, yeah.
People will say, oh, you're all about brand. Okay, no. Okay, what's the standard to how much you're contributing in this world? How much are you giving to your church?
Absolutely.
Have you bought a bus so that people can be bused into church easily? Are you building houses for the poor?
Yeah.
You see, when you really look at it, you really look at it, it's not the mindset of, oh, you're into brands. It's a defense mechanism for a weak mentality and low standards.
Most people don't realize that. Most people don't get that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad you brought that up because every time I talk about it, you know, there's always, oh my God, you know, because you made a certain amount and all that kind of stuff. No, you had standards when you had no money. You know, you had standards when no, you held yourself at high. Okay, so speaking about going through adversity, right? So you made money, you became a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I think then you lost it, you know, with the market crash and all that kind of stuff. Because I had same thing happen to me. Same thing happened to me. I literally, you know, became a millionaire. You know, the market, you know, I never had a dad. Nobody ever taught me about the ups and downs of the economy.
Nobody taught me either.
You know, next thing you know, my house that I bought crashed, business crashed. You know, my ex-wife was pregnant with our first one. 6 months, my bank account was overdrawn. And like I said, that effed up my mind, man. That effed up my mind. Where
it did mine as well. Yeah.
You know, where for a period of 4 or 5 years, like I literally was so scared of doing anything. I was in a very scarcity mentality. You know, I was not thinking about creating. I was just thinking about surviving. Tell me about that moment in time in your life.
Yeah, it was the roughest time in my life because I could literally remember being depressed. I'm a very motivated, inspired kind of guy. Number one, I was at the heaviest in my life. And I want people to really understand this. Like, you know, the way you look on the outside is a direct reflection of the way you're thinking on the inside.
100%.
So if money's a problem because your mindset's a problem. And if your mindset's a problem, what's really happening is you're going to start see that manifest, not just in money, but in your relationships, in your happiness, in your joy, and in your body.
So you were broke.
I was broke. I was fat. I was unattractive. The whole thing. You know. Okay. Yeah, the whole thing. And you know, it was a tough time. But the thing that I got from that period in my life was that it wasn't the economy's fault. And you know, I coach people now. You know, and I coach people through these things. I coach people that today are still acting a certain way because of quote unquote the economy. It wasn't the economy's fault. It was your fault.
Yeah.
It was my fault, Sam. That it was your fault.
Yeah.
We made poor decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That unfortunately,
big time,
that unfortunately put us in a position to where when the economy shifted, then we were affected by it. But there was a lot of people out there that made great decisions.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Tony Robbins in his book talks about it, right? I think his book Unshakable. He talks about it when he says, like, winter time.
Sure.
Winter time. Some people are freezing, and other people are surfing.
Absolutely.
Other people are skiing. You know, so if you know exactly what to do, then you can't blame the economy. You got to blame your mentality, your education,
right.
The way you handle yourself.
Right.
You know, you can't just say poor me. Right. You know, you didn't have the right knowledge, or right tools, or right mentorship to be able to get that done. Because some of the most, people make the most amount of money.
Right.
You know, a lot of people when it's on a down economy. Right?
Absolutely.
I love him.
So this is Kratos. This is my new puppy. Yeah, he's an American bully, and I love him.
So tell me about American Bully, because he's so chill.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so beautiful and so chill. Tell me about what is an American
Bully? So
Bully?
it's like an American Staffordshire Terrier, and I think an American Pit Bull, something along those lines. What they did is that they bred out all of the aggression, towards humans or other animals, and they have the very bully look. So he'll grow up, he'll be about 14 inches tall, between 80 and 100 pounds of just solid muscle.
I mean, yes.
His head will be 25 inches. If you know what, go follow him. It's Morel Bully Bros. Morel Bully Bros. He's got his own Instagram account.
His own IG account. I love it.
And his brother is coming soon. I just got to make the right pick. Yeah. So.
Got it. That's why he's so chill.
He's beautiful.
Beautiful dog, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful dog. And muscular, so he's gonna be a gentle giant.
He really is.
All right. So right now, you have Intero. You have 400 people, 400 agents under you.
400 beautiful human beings who really what they do, man, is they entrust us with their growth, because we're not a regular real estate company.
What's so different about you?
Oh, dude, it's.
I want to know what's so different. So what's so different from for somebody who's like wanting to get into the real estate business? Why should they come to you other than the other agencies and all that kind of stuff? What is your unique selling proposition? Sell me, baby, sell me.
I mean, it's I don't even know how. I'm so passionate about it that I don't even know how to describe it into words sometimes. But here's Here's what happens.
Give me your, tell me why I should come do real estate with you.
Well, I'll explain it to you this way. Here's what happens. The human consciousness works like this. You're working at a job. And you're working at a job and you're making $50K a year. Okay. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait, I can go get my real estate license and I could make $100,000 a year and I could work for myself. So I have time freedom, right? And so what is happening in the industry today is that the relationship between the broker and the agent, there is zero, and I mean zero value in that relationship.
Broker and an agent.
Broker and the agent, meaning I'm a broker. I'm supposedly I have all this knowledge, all this experience.
They're just
I'm a millionaire. Yeah. I can, right? And here you are, you're my pupil. I should be able to impact your life so that you could start making $1 million a year faster than I made it. That's how it should happen. That's how the correct mentor-student relationship works.
But nobody does that.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Here's what everybody in real estate does. I'm sorry to say it this way, it's a prostitution ring, is what it is. All the brokers in real estate, that's exactly what it is. All the brokers in real estate today realize they have zero value to offer. And you can go work anywhere. So guess what they do? They offer you the highest split possible. So in essence, what happens is brokers no longer make any money. The agents make all the money, quote unquote, but because of the consciousness of the agent and because they make so much per deal, they stop growing mentally. It's like, Sam, business. You create protein powders. You make a protein powder, you sell it for $60, right? Yeah. It costs you whatever it costs you, $20, $30, whatever it is, and then you make your margins on that. Let's say you make $30 per protein powder. You're not gonna get rich like that, are you?
No.
So that means you need to sell a lot of protein powders, right? Yeah. That means you need to think about the great brand that you're going to put behind the product. You need to make great ingredients. You need to lower shipping costs. You need to think as a business person, because if not, $30 ain't going to cut it, dude. Not in real estate. In real estate, I sell one house, I make 10 grand.
Yeah.
So guess what? In my mind, if I sell 10 of those puppies, I'm good.
So let me ask you something.
And so here's what we do. Okay. We do the exact opposite. We put you on a foundational course to show you not only how to make more money, but make more money in less time. So an agent, I can show you statistically, you work at our company versus Century 21, versus Remax, versus Keller Williams, versus any of them. Statistically, an agent in our company sells 10x the houses that an agent at another company does and makes more money and does it faster. We have people that are new to the business, 2 years in the business, who out-earn in less time with weekends off, people who are 20 years in the industry, but they have it all figured out.
That's the American dream.
That's it. So that's why I'm passionate about it, because we legitimately change lives. We take people who are like me, who can't afford a car payment, who literally in 12 to 24 months are making $250,000, $300,000 a year, not working 7 days a week like everybody else does, with leverage so they can spend time with their family.
So why is a broker needed?
A broker is needed right now because of the laws of real estate. It's like why do you need the franchising department? It is what it is.
So does it cost a lot of money? Does it cost a lot of money if a real estate agent wants to become their own broker?
It doesn't, but it costs a lot of liability. So it's not worth it. It's like the industry is in this space right now where it's not worth it. I've never said this anywhere before. It's not even worth being a broker right now. Yeah. It's just, it's literally you're fighting, you're creating.
You have all liability and very minimal upside.
Do you know how much I pay in insurance, in workers' compensation insurance, and it's through the, it's through the roof.
Especially in California. Especially in California.
Don't do business in California. This is not.
You're
go to Texas, go to Florida,
Yeah. All right. So all of this stuff, man, I'm gonna just go totally off a whole different tangent.
You do what you want.
Okay, because we're friends, man. And God, man, I know that 5 years ago, I went through some of the toughest times of my life. Mm-hmm. I literally, went through a separation, went through a divorce.
Yep.
And it was devastating to me. and I was able to pick myself back up and all that kind of stuff. I know you're going through a similar thing, similar thing right now. Tell me, how's that going? How's that affecting you mentally? How's that affecting business? Because it seems like it seems like you're either putting up a front or you're just so hyper focused, with all that. I know it's got to be tough.
It's not neither, Sam. It's that I've been blessed with the innate ability to see the positive in everything.
Gosh, man. I mean, that is a blessing.
Sam, I only see the positive. So it's like in my situation, I was married for 12 years. Mm-hmm. Claudia is absolutely incredible.
100% agree.
Wonderful.
100% agree.
And the positive that has come from this is, I don't know if you follow her on social media. She's doing a bodybuilding show. She's much happier herself. She's opening a business. We came to realize that for each other, we just weren't the right fit. And so, we had a choice to make, man. It's either A, do what all other human beings do. Yeah. Right?
Just be unhappy.
It's just be unhappy and live the rest of your life. And by the way, that
was me though. That was me.
Right? Because I get deep. That's how people develop cancer, by the way.
Yeah.
People get sick because they're secretly living a life internally that they don't want to be living.
See, here's the difference between me and you.
I hope you guys caught that, by the way. That was, yeah.
No, I mean, you had the balls to realize it and take action, and you guys are both coming better from it.
But you know what?
I didn't have the balls for that.
Yeah.
I didn't have the balls for that. She took action. She served me with papers.
Yeah.
And I would have literally would have stayed, because I would come from a broken home. I didn't want that from my children. I would have been miserable the rest of my life.
See, I'm going to talk to you about that. I remember I was in the car one day with Isaac, my camera guy. Mm-hmm. He's right there. Yeah. He comes from a quote unquote broken home. Yeah. And it was right when I was going through all of this. And I asked him, Isaac, let me ask you a question. I said, was divorce the problem? You remember this, Isaac? Yeah. I said, was divorce the issue, or was the way your parents handled the divorce the issue? And he stopped and he goes,
that's the way you handled it.
I guess it's the way they handled it.
Yeah, it's not divorce.
And you know what, dude? Like, I love Claudia so much, and I love my boys so much.
And I see that.
And I love them.
And like,
I will do anything for them. Mm-hmm. That the toughest thing to do was to work on being happy apart.
Yeah.
And I think as a result, both of us, I'm not saying it's easy, but as a result, both of us are happier. My relationship with my kids is much, much better. And she's doing absolutely incredible.
And I see you with your boys. Yeah. I mean, you're such a great dad. I mean, you are not only a great businessman, you're a great father. You took care of everybody. I think when I look back now, thank you for bringing that up. It just it wasn't that the divorce was. It was just that I never saw my dad after that again. So for me, divorce was, oh my God.
Bad.
Yeah, it was meant bad because it meant like that. But now that we're divorced for 4 years, I have a better relationship.
Do you see your kids all the? Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why for me it was such a negative, and I would have been stuck. I would have been stuck miserable the rest of my life had she not served me with that. And
I just. Again, if you go back to standards, I believe massively in personal happiness.
Yeah.
If you're not personally happy, forget about it. You cannot be the human being that God created you to be. So you have a decision to make. Either A, you get caught up in what the world thinks happy is, mm-hmm. or B, you get real and raw with yourself and you fight for your happiness and the happiness of those around you.
Do you get lashed back though? You do get lashed back, because everybody out there, a lot of people, they just think that divorce is like the worst thing to do, right? That's how we're all kind of, a lot of people are bred up, and they see somebody, especially a leader, in your shoes, right? You have so many people that look up to you and they're under you, and they inspire. And next thing you know, they're like, oh man, the guy who I look up to is going through a divorce, so maybe he's not the guy for me. Or how do you respond to something like that? I know you probably had some. I don't know a lot, but probably something like that happened, right?
Yeah. Again, I only see the positive.
Right.
But I had to be honest and think back. Yeah, I got messages from people. I got messages from people. I had people leave the company. I had, that was, but you know what's funny, Sam? it never came from anyone who really knew us.
Yes. Yes.
The people who really knew us, they were like, you know what? Yeah, I could see that. The people who don't know you, but listen,
they're just waiting for something to happen.
But want to justify their own unhappiness.
Yes.
They're the first to point. And so knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen? I'm not going to stop growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
My kids aren't going to stop growing. I'm not going to stop supporting Claudia and making sure that she grows.
Yes.
The only one that's going to not grow is you, but because you think like that, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, 100%, man. You know, I always wondered, man. I always wondered, like, you know, how, because I know with us, man, I mean, you know, even though that I was in the, I got served with the papers, and there's so many people like, you got to throw a divorce. Because they say that the haters will whisper everything good that you have done, but they will announce loudly the one thing that didn't go right in your life, or what they think didn't go right in your life.
But you know what, Sam? Listen, man. I like when I say I get deep, I get deep. Like I really see this thing sometimes as like the Matrix, you know, and I really think all human beings are, you know, just kind of like walking around, and we're a body that's controlled by a mind, and some of our minds are free, and some of our minds are trapped. I'll be honest with you. I've never shared this before ever publicly, but when this was happening, I had a spiritual leader tell me that if I did this, that I would lose all God's abundance or favor in my life. I don't care if you're a spiritual leader, that's a trapped mind. Because that's not who God is. God is a loving God. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so that's called manipulation. And people try to manipulate you, and people try to get you to do things the way they want you to do them. And, you know, the reality is, man, is I just had to stick to the fact that I knew what was best for my family. I knew what was best for my personal happiness. I knew what was best for my kids, and I knew what was best for Claudia. And it was not us being together. And you know what? I'm happy to say that I was right. I was right. And we're all doing wonderful, man. We're all doing wonderful.
I'm so glad to hear that, man. I'm so glad to hear that. So let's not talk about, you know, something different right now. Let's just switch gears. You know, Relentless Event.
Yes.
This is your third year?
My third year.
Third
yes.
year. I've been to your event, man. I mean, you know, not that you're my friend, I'm saying that, you know, but God, man, it was probably, no, you know what, I'm going to go down and say it's the best event that I've been to. And not because you're my friend, not because you're here on the podcast, not because I'm trying to, you know, talk it up, because it's an event that was all content, and it wasn't like something like, 50 million speakers come in and there was like, 20 minutes of content, 45 minutes of pitch, and you're always trying to sell. There's nothing wrong with selling. But when it's all about that, for me is this, Danny, my time is the most valuable thing I have, right? And if I'm going to take a day that I'm going to go to an event, I'm going to take time away from my wife, from my children, or from my business. I'm going to go to an event that I'm going to learn something. I'm going to be able to network and be able to do that. I don't want to go sit through some bullshit. You know what I mean? And I got to tell you, man, the both times that I've been, it's been an amazing event. This year you have Kobe Bryant. What the hell? I'm going like, I've never seen Kobe speak at any event.
Never.
I don't even know what you had to do to get him, or what kind of check you had to write.
A big one.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine, but I'm telling you right now, I've got goosebumps. I cannot wait to be there. I think I'm going to be like on call because, Crystal is going to deliver anytime,
Wow,
that, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So if I have to miss it, and I don't know it's going to be in the delivery room.
Yeah.
But I have my VIP tickets in the front.
That's right.
I should have bought it last year at the event.
They were discounted heavily.
Yeah. I knew. Yeah. I was like, but tell me about it, man.
Man, it's like you asking me about Intero. You're asking me about my baby.
Yeah.
I think, look, man, I think first and foremost, you have to respect people.
Yes.
You have to respect people. I say that because if someone is going to get in their car or get on a plane, invest their time and money away from their families, they're coming for a reason. Yeah. And they're coming to grow as human beings. They're coming because they want to live a better life. And so I respect respect that immensely. So that's, I think, number one. I think number two is you've got to discover what the purpose of your event is. And unfortunately, what I see is the purpose of most events is to make money. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with making money.
Yeah.
I just think that can't be the purpose of your event.
Yeah, because you're disrespecting some people's time.
Exactly. The purpose of my event or anything I do is to change people's lives. Period of the story.
And you understand, I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of your favorite quotes is you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want, right?
Yeah.
So your event, basically, you understand the fact that if you help change people's lives, then the money is going to come.
But I just think differently, man. So as a result of number one and number two, then number three is what decisions do you make about your event? So, like if I'm just going to go ahead and say it, if we're talking 10X, for example, well, the decision of the speakers who are coming is not how can those people impact people's lives, is who can sell the most so I can make money. It's very well known amongst the mature entrepreneurs. Yeah. Amongst the newer entrepreneurs, they don't get that. They don't understand that.
Well, with Grant, Grant will tell you. You know what you're getting with
Grant.
Yeah. He doesn't hide it. He says, hey, man, you're going to come here. I'm going to sell you some shit, but I'm going to sell you some shit. I'm going to change your life, but I'm going to sell you some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're saying, look, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to deliver value. I'm going to change your life, but then it will come back to me.
It's all good.
It's no right or wrong way as long as you're transparent with exactly what you're on. Grant is transparent with what he does. You're transparent with what you do. But some people, I've gone to events, that says, hey man, it's gonna be content, we're gonna deliver this and that. And when you get there, it's a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, no. This is 100% like you come, you have an open heart, you have an open mind. Trust when I say that you can just put away all inhibitions, all worries, all doubt, all fear. You're going to come and we're gonna work on 3 things over 3 days. Day number 1 is mindset. Right? Because like we were talking about today, a lot of success has to do with the way you think.
100%.
So we're going to help people literally reprogram the way they think so that they can at least see what it's like to think in the positive and they can make a choice to start thinking that way. Yeah. Day 2 is all about sales. We literally role play. We teach you what to say. We get you more confident. And then day 3, when your mindset is right and you're making more sales, you're going to make more money. You better know what to do with it. That's wealth day. And
that's something nobody talks about. When last year when I was there, usually when I go to events, I won't be honest, man. Usually when I'm on my phone. Yeah. I'm on my phone. I'm doing this and that.
Dude,
man.
I got you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
When I was at your event, I was like, shit. Wait a second, man. I need to listen to this shit. Right. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a second. When you're talking about money and how to save money and things that you taught. It's things that should be taught, but nobody is teaching.
Nobody's teaching.
Nobody's teaching. And it was basically nobody's teaching that.
Because no one wants to give away the meat and potatoes. Everyone just wants to give enough to get the follower.
Yeah.
I figure if I give away enough of the meat and potatoes, the followers and all that stuff will take care of itself. Yeah. I think I just got a genuine care for what I do, and I genuinely want to help people. That's it.
One thing I notice about you is you're not out here to try to be famous. You don't care about that. You're trying to deliver value. You're trying to change lives, and you know that most important thing for you is to make an impact.
Yeah.
You're not. Some people are just out there just trying to become famous and trying to get known and all that. You don't give a damn about that. You're just trying to make an impact. You're trying to live your life. You live life on your terms. You don't see it at what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna do everybody else. You do. You're the 1%. You go against the grain.
That's it.
That's what you have done.
Yeah. And I think that everybody has the power to do that, whatever that means for them.
Yes.
Whatever that means for them. It might mean that when you're successful, you like I mentioned, you want to build orphanages for children. Yeah. God bless you, because we need more of that. It might mean that when you're successful, you want to fly in a private plane. God bless you. You're going to have a great time. It might mean that when you're successful, you want to have a Lambo and a Ferrari. God, knock yourself. Whatever that means to you, you have the right and the freedom to achieve. But you just got to be clear on one thing, and that's the fact that anything is possible as long as you set your mind to it.
I used to talk about Lambo and a Ferrari. Always grown up, always thought, one day when I make it, I'll buy an exotic car. But I was like, would I buy a Lambo or would I buy a Ferrari? Would I want a Lambo? Which one is better? Everybody, has that debate. Lambo or Ferrari, Lambo or Ferrari. I'm like, you know what?
Why not both?
Why not both?
Yeah.
You know, let me figure it out. And people are asking, which one do you like better? Which one do you like better? I'm like, it really depends.
Right.
It really depends what mood I'm in. You know, it's like you can't really pick one over the other. You know, so all right. So you know, the Relentless event is when?
July 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's here in Anaheim, California, at the Anaheim Hilton.
Anaheim Hilton. And if I want to get tickets, what's the website for that?
So relentlessevent.com.
And you got that like registered or trademarked or something like that, right? How did you do that? I didn't even know that was possible because that's
we own it. Yeah.
Gosh.
No event can be made that's called Relentless. We own it. Yeah.
That is badass, man. Yeah. All right, so with that, you know, I know you're impacting a lot of lives with your coaching program. So is your coaching program mostly for people in the real estate business, or is it for anybody who wants to change their mindset, become successful?
Yeah, so my coaching program is mainly for people in the real estate business.
Okay.
And I designed it that way because I felt like that's an area of mastery that I have mastered. So as a result, I feel more confident that I can help people in that field. However, I do have a program called Danny on Demand. And that's where people get access to my videos. I put out a new video once a week. And in those videos, we talk about sales conversion. We talk about lead generation. We talk about mindset. We talk about all the things that I talk about in coaching, but it's essentially geared towards like the public, basically.
The public.
Yeah,
so Danny on Demand, is that DannyOnDemand.com?
We don't have it yet. It's actually coming out. By the time this is out, just go follow me on Instagram or something. It'll be out by then.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So tell me about Danny on Demand. It's like a monthly subscription kind of thing, you know. So you
know what? We should just go buy Danny on Demand. Let's just that's it. Yeah, Danny on Demand. Let's do that. Yeah. Or DannyMorel.com/on-demand. So let's
do it.
Tell them to do that real fast before somebody else beats me to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be a monthly subscription, very affordable, and they'll get access to all my content, and then once a month they'll get access to a live feed of a live seminar, basically.
All right, so I'm getting in a real estate business right now, you know, and let's just say I'm getting my license right now, and which is, by the way, you know, my cousin who lives with me, you know, it's funny because when I moved to America, you know, me and my mom moved with his dad. You know, and now, you know, I'm paying back, you know, my debt to my uncle.
Sure.
He lives with me, and I always try to push him. So I got him the real estate course, and I told him to give me a deadline by when he's going to be finishing.
Good.
So I'm going to send him your way. You know, he's coming your way. I want you to take him under your wing, teach him. I'm going to send him to intern. So let's just say he gets to a certain point, and now he wants to take things to the next level. He wants to join your coaching program. How does he find out about it?
DannyMorel.com.
Okay.
Yeah, DannyMorel.com.
So would you say that's a program for somebody just getting into real estate, or do you want somebody who's like kind of seasoned in real estate right now?
That's a great question. We have all of the above. We have programs for people who are just getting in. I've got an 8-week course called Breakthrough that is like phenomenal for them. It's like a master's education in what they need to do to generate more business in less amount of time. And then I've got a program for launch for the people who really want to excel more at a higher level, and yet they don't necessarily know what to do. And maybe they need a little bit more confidence in their sales ability. So that's what launch is for. And then I've got a program called Leverage. And Leverage is for those that are already selling, but they're trading time for money and they want to create an actual business. That's what Leverage is all about.
So you have, you know, all this big, great business. You have the Relentless Event. Your life looks amazing. You know, you have a great father. What's next for Danny Morel? What do you want to be known? What kind of impact do you want to make? What's the next big thing you're working on?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. The next big thing I'm working on is me as a human being.
You know, I saw you walking in here, you know, with your meal prep. Yeah. You know, you just come in, you had some bison, you had some, you had some, you know, and I don't see that a lot. I mean, usually, you know, somebody who is successful in business, all they do is business. But not only, you know, you get that mastered. You mastered that. You mastered being a great father. I mean, you're in great shape. I see you working out and all that kind of stuff. How do you do all of that? How are you able to, you know, gosh, I mean, have it all figured out?
You know, Sam, I think it's all about like priorities. I'll give you an example. I'm going to a spiritual retreat in Costa Rica where there's only some of the top CEOs in the world who are all going to this retreat, and it's for one purpose. I know I'm going to do something enormous in my life that's going to help a lot of people. And being that that's the vision, I've got to work on myself. I've got to work on myself spiritually. I've got to work on myself mentally on a continuous basis. So I think that's number one. Number one is the focus is you got to work on you, right? And then right after that, it's, number two, you gotta provide a great life for your kids and your family, right? And then number three after that comes business. And I think that's what's been able to help me is most people, it's business is number one. Business has never been number one for me. Business is just a reflection of the soul to me. It's a reflection of who I am as a human being. And I'm blessed, and I'm in a space right now where my primary business, it's running, dude. It's running. So I'm blessed, and I'm in a place right now where I can literally, I've got a new landscape on life. I can literally just chart the course however I want to chart it. But I want to make sure that I chart it thinking big enough. So I'm working on me right now, man. My diet, my spirituality, all of that good stuff.
I love it, man, because we always say, being a one percenter is all about having faith, family, fitness, finance, and fun.
That's absolutely.
And it looks like you are a 1% in all those areas of life.
Working on it.
I appreciate you coming over for the podcast. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your friendship genuinely, man. I love you as a brother, man. And man, I just can't wait to see you just catapult to the top.
Awesome, bro.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.